Hello, and welcome to a wee chat. This is your Friday night on Twitch, and I'm very, very excited because tonight we've got a great show. Thank you to everybody who's tuning in. We have 3 more shows after this one next week, 2 in March, and then I bugger off to the US of A to do a bit of work. I know, sorry, stop applauding it. I know, simmer down everyone, I know, it's great, it's great. So I'm really excited. I'm very excited about that. So we've got 3 more shows and we've got loads of amazing guests, video game voice artists, actors, all sorts. Very excited. So we've got all of that. People that you will absolutely recognize as well. Absolutely. But let's see what's coming up on tonight's show. Coming up on tonight's show, we've got streamer Stallion here to introduce himself and chat about games, streaming and community. Rudy is back with another burning question in Say What? He's Citric in The Last Kingdom, but best known as the Agent of Chaos. Yes, it's Arnas Fedaravičius. He'll be stopping by much later. And finally, we have our house band MamajoeVramajoe to see us out tonight, here with another purple-flavoured fever dream. Hell yeah! What a show! I'm excited about this one. This is a good one. If you're excited, then spam out all of the posy vibes, the yasses, all of the wee squad emotes in the chat right now. But before we meet our guest Stallion, we've got a little bit of Tarot Cat. Are you ready for your weekend reading? Yo, my beautiful souls, it's Tarot Cat here with your weekend reading. Remember, this is a general reading, so if it don't resonate with you, get out of here. Today's question is, will I get a new job? Let's shuffle the deck. Whoa, we got the Tower. Look, it's been a long night at the office. You've been working hard, but you left the damn fork in the microwave. What a dummy. Now look at you. The building's on fire and the whole damn place is burning to the ground, yo. This means you got to get a new job, fool, cause you burnt down the old place. Sheesh. Okay, let's pull a clarification card. The 3 of Pentacles. Okay. So you're trying to build things back up, but you got these 2 bozos on your back. They heard the last place burned down. You're a liability, son, so you're being watched. Let's put this all together. What does it mean? You gotta get a new job because you messed up the last joint, but it all depends on not making the same mistakes over and over. Like leaving a goddamn fork in the microwave, you bozo. So, stay sharp, learn from mistakes, and be on your best behavior. And maybe someone will take a chance on you, kid. And remember health and safety, yo! So, that's what I got for you. Remember to follow, subscribe, and like and all that shit. Spirit says, yo! We out. Thank you very much, Tarot Cat. Thank you. I hope that was very helpful. Profound, Spiral says in the chat. Indeed, profound. We all need a bit of Tarot Cat in our lives. And if you want to watch the previous weeks, it's all on my YouTube channel. You can watch all of the other Tarot Cat videos and learn a little bit about astrology along the way. Yes, you can indeed. So please go to YouTube and subscribe. Nice. Like and subscribe and hit the notification bell, you guys. Yeah, hashtag ad, hashtag sponsored. Okay. I'm very excited about our next guest. Let's check him out. Let's have a look at this clip. Who's coming up next?
What's up, gang? My name is Stallion. I'm a full-time streamer from the UK, and welcome to my home. And as you can see, we play a lot of COD around here. also about good vibes and community.
Fucking hell, this is a bit movie, ain't it? Oh, what is this? Oh! I have been fucked. What the fuck? Bruh! What is going on?
Thank you for checking out the trailer, and I hope you enjoy your time in the channel.
Yes, thank you very much, and welcome to the absolutely wonderful. It's Stallion. Hi.
Hello, Claire. Thank you for having me. How's it going?
Thank you for waiting patiently in the green room.
No problem. I was there with the funky bee that was doing that song earlier. It was actually a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, that's yeah. Well, oh my God, I'm glad that you liked that. I'm very glad that you liked that. Now, for everyone in the chat, Stallion's an amazing streamer. You're an FPS streamer. You do other things as well. You mentioned COD in there, Call of Duty, and when I interviewed you for Insomnia Gaming Festival, we only talked about COD. I don't want to talk about what we talked about. It's not out yet, but tell me, what the hell is it about bloody COD that's so bloody great then?
Well, it's funny that we have that conversation right now because I've just started going towards more variety, Claire. So I'm kind of mixing it up really at the moment, but you know, over the years, it's just one of them high adrenaline FPS games that has always had me addicted. The last 15 years, it's had me addicted, in fact. You know, that alongside Battlefield, Halo, and, you know, recently Overwatch and a few other things keep me very busy and very addicted. So anything that gives me high adrenaline, I'll just get involved with. And yeah, I love so.
And so when you started your channel, because it was, I think you started maybe a wee bit after or just before me, it was like 2018, was it? Yes.
Yeah, earlier.
Yes, so you're about a year before me. So when you started, like, what were your whole thoughts on Twitch? Did you just kind of go, what is this platform? Like, were you just, it's like the Wild West when you first start.
It really is, yeah. I mean, I'll give you the short story of it. In that, I mean, I've known what Twitch was before it was even called Twitch. I don't know if anybody in the chat used to watch when it was called Justin.tv back in the day, but that's when I was watching like competitive gaming and stuff. So I always kind of knew what Twitch and live streaming was. And then a friend of mine convinced me to start live streaming myself. And then, you know, fast forward up to around 5 years ago, I didn't really know what to expect and just kind of did it for fun with the worst PC and everything. And yeah, what started out for fun got very addictive very quickly. And 5 and a bit years later, here we are. So
it's mad. Like I sat there on my beanbag, like on my PS4, and it was like a PS4 cam. And the first thing I streamed was Red Dead 2.
What a game!
So good. I never completed it because it was so big. I'm gonna try and go back to it, but I couldn't chat and ride a horse at the same time. I don't know why. How did you? Now, generally, I found the whole idea. Now I'm fine with the chat. I can just talk to the chat. Like, you become a great multitasker. But what were the kind of things that tripped you up in the early days? Because that was one for me. It was the chat, reading the chat properly.
I think the chat was something that, for whatever reason, I was able to pick up quite quickly. I don't know. I have this weird sense. If anybody's ever seen my streams, I can flick. Sometimes it looks like I'm not even looking at the chat while I'm not flicking my eyes. Yeah. I can just try and, you know, read whilst playing the FPS games at the same time. But I think for me, it was like the whole upgrading your equipment and doing it quick enough to keep up. Because I was constantly scared about my PC like blue screening back then. Because the specs, you know, as it is when you first start, were not there. You said about Red Dead 2. I played a game very similar when I started. Mine was Skyrim, was one of my first. And I couldn't even stream that game on low settings without the risk of blue screening if it got too crazy. So, yeah, they were the days.
Oh, my God. And you know what? When we say, oh, God, those were the days, it's not that long ago, Stallion, because that's only 4 or 5 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Like, so much has changed on the platform. I think what I've noticed is I think COVID brought a lot of new people on.
Did. A
lot of people have left since then, but some have stayed. What do you think is different about what it was when you started from what it is now?
Oh God! Again, that is a question that could go on for a long time.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's a really good question though, because the whole landscape has changed. You're definitely right. COVID was a massive enforcer of that. 2018 and 2019 in the streaming scene were very different to what it is now. It's a lot more. Well, I mean, it was always going towards the route of being more commercialized because, you know, technology is constantly getting better, but COVID definitely sped all that up with everybody being stuck inside, and the introduction of things like TikTok, and everybody became, even people that didn't even like gaming sort of became gamers overnight, and then realized actually they do like games, and then suddenly decided to start live streaming, and then everybody started live streaming, and a lot of people made careers out of it. So yeah, I would say you're absolutely bang on. COVID definitely escalated that, and now it's way more of something a lot of people want to do even at a young age. So
yeah, I think so. I think there's still, I mean, I know my parents know that I stream because they wandered onto my stream. I never told them. They kind of
What?
I never told them. They just kind of found out through social media stuff.
That's great.
And they kind of slowly found out, and then it was more that my dad messaged me one night and went, "Don't talk about us on your stream," and I was like, "Okay." I was like, "Okay then." Oh, fine. But they still don't really get it. They don't really understand it. But when we were talking about Insomnia Gaming Festival, you talked about your lovely mum, Stallion's mum. She gets it, right? She's up for it.
I mean, she gets it, but she doesn't get it, Claire, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
So it was only about 3-4 years ago where she finally got on Facebook, and she still doesn't even know how to use that. So she gets it because she knows that I love it, and she's one of those typical mums that's like, she'll support me in anything I do, and like she's always said to me is, as long as like financially it works, then, and obviously it doesn't cause anyone any pain, aside from my own sanity sometimes, that she'll support it, and she always has. And whatever platform I'm uploading on, whether it's like Facebook or TikTok, I always see her name in the comments. She was liking all my videos, so she's like, yeah, she's crazy supporter.
So what name are we looking out for then, if we want to say hi to Mama Stallion?
I mean, she's never used Twitch. We did make her a Twitch the other day. She mainly watches my like uploaded videos and short form content, but she's now I think it's Mama Stally on Twitch. I think we made it literally like 2 weeks ago, but she hasn't come in yet. She probably hasn't figured it out. So
that's so
she'll
cute.
work it out.
Your mum is so cute. Can I adopt?
Yeah, she's really cute.
Can I adopt your mother? Sorry, mum, if you're watching this on VOD.
Yeah, no, you absolutely can. She's like 4'9", so you'll love her. Big bushy hair, proper typical like Italian mum. Makes great food.
Oh my god, my mum is like 5 foot. What is it about mums? They're very small.
They are. It's the older age, Claire. We all shrink as we get older, unfortunately.
Can I ask you a random shrinking old person question? Because Ellie in Games in the chat, who's a friend of mine, we were talking about dads recently, and I said to her, "Yeah, my dad's shrunk. Like he looks kind of small. He's got a little peanut head, and he's all shrinky and shrunk." Is your dad the same? Like, are your parents shrinking? Are they shrinking as they go?
Everyone's shrinking. I come from a family of not necessarily tall people. I mean, I'm the tallest in my family, and I'm like, what, 5'8"?
Oh.
So if that don't tell you everything, then I don't know what will, to be honest.
Oh,
So
I love that. I love how your family's like a little, like, cute little
tiny, literally.
I kind of, you know what? It freaks me. Over COVID, it freaked me out a little bit when my friends, my IRL friends, as in when I say IRL now, what I actually mean by that is friends who don't really get Twitch, I've known them for years, because I have IRL friends now I've made in the community, but they would come in during COVID and go, "Hey Claire, cool," and they would see what I was doing. I don't know if it took me out of it. Stallion, does that take you out of it a little bit as well?
It's weird because a lot of my IRL friends are gamers, or potentially were gamers back then. But there's been times where I've seen some like people who have seen things that I've done through like Facebook or any like achievement I've posted, and they didn't know I streamed, and then they'll come through and they'll be like, "Oh, hi Stally, I'm so and so. We used to go to school together," and I'm just like, "Wow, look, you just like, I didn't even know that you gamed or that you're on Twitch or anything like that." So I think with my like core friends, when I see them, it's pretty much standard because we've always all gamed all of our lives. But as kind of like the influence got bigger, like some of the people of what they'd say to me, or if they ever found my streams through like Facebook or through somebody, because I'm only from a small town, somebody like spreading the word or saying things, that was quite surreal.
Yeah, so. It's weird. I don't know, like I have a funny thing anyway, like my friends all know I'm a presenter, so they'll by default see things that go up,
Yeah.
But I don't know, I find it really weird when they watch me live on something, even if it's on stage and they're watching me from whatever. I get a bit, it just takes me a bit, especially on stream, because stream, I don't know if you'll agree with this, but streaming is a form of madness. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
It's like how would you say it's your, because it's like I mean, you've seen the stream now. It's like a part of my like weird subconscious brain. How is your stream a form of your own madness then?
It's literally the same. In my community are they're just absolutely nuts, and they drive me nuts in a good way and a bad way sometimes, of course. But that's how it is. Yeah, no, great, absolutely great. I mean, for me, streaming has been like way more than just gaming. It's a form of release. It's a great way to, I mean, obviously, as you know, to meet new people, and if you're lucky enough and work hard enough, even a full-time career for some. So definitely changed my life in so many ways that I can do this day in, day out. Been doing it full-time for almost 4.5 years now. So wouldn't change it for the world, even though it's an absolute roller coaster of an industry. Live streaming does so much in so many ways. So
it's such a busy space nowadays as well, because I feel like even 4 or 5 years ago when I started, and when you started obviously a year before that, it felt like this brave new world, and it felt like, I can do anything and blah blah blah. But now I feel it is extremely hard to stand out in a content creator space if you are going to be a content creator. Would you agree with that? And how do you manage that and manage to kind of keep up?
Yeah, again, COVID escalated a lot of that because everybody sort of jumped on to trends and the online world, and obviously, like I said, with tech improving constantly. So yeah, you're absolutely right with that. In terms of managing it, it's just, I guess, just trying to vary things up, keep things fresh, just try and keep up to date with trends and what's changing in the world. The industry is constantly adapting, even like week to week. So just keep an eye out, obviously see what's going on, what people are interested in, and just making sure that, I would say the most important part of all of that is obviously sticking true to like you though, and your morals and everything that it is that you do. Because you'll get a lot of people that will, regardless of what you got going on, I'm sure it's the same for you, Claire, that whatever you've got going on your show, people will just come because they enjoy you and enjoy the vibe. So that core part right there is always important to keep, no matter what it is that you're changing up. So
I would say, so the people that are we squad are lovely freaks. That's how I would describe them. How would you describe your community, and why would you describe them like that?
Yeah, I like that actually. Lovely freaks is a good way of wording it. I feel like even from reading your chat, we have a very similar vibe community. They're the most lovely people, and they'll back you through absolutely everything.
Yeah.
But then they're just mental. So it's just like, like the other day I'll be playing Battlefield and they'll be throwing bits in, and with the bits they'll do like text to speech, of course, and they're doing these like really dirty minded rhymes, and I'm just sitting there and I'm just like crying with laughter trying to play Battlefield. So it's just crazy people. But lovely crazy people. That's probably the best way of saying it.
It's kind of a compliment though, because you kind of feel like, I always think that your chat is a reflection of the streamer, like we're in somebody's living room. Like I wouldn't invite anyone in my living room I didn't want there, so it's kind of nice that your chat's like that. And I would say this as well to you, Stallion, the fact that you play, you are doing variety stuff, but also you do love FPS stuff, you love COD. That sometimes can be off-putting for people, but you've not made it like that. How have you made it open? Because I've been in streams before, because I love COD, Battlefield, all of those games, but I've been in streams in the early days. I felt very unwelcome and it did not feel good. So how did you open it up to people?
Yeah, I think it's exactly what you said there. The community is a straight reflection of the streamer and what that person is like. So for me, I mean, we make anybody feel welcome regardless. Like we do a lot of like viewer games, like inclusive viewer games. So regardless of where people are from or skill levels and stuff like that, we pretty much welcome anybody to come play. It brings this like inclusivity in there, gets people playing together and stuff like that, making new friends and whatnot. And even if people don't want to play, just to come in, vibe, chat. The chat interaction is probably one of the biggest parts that I focus on. So whether it's like just talking to people and through TikTok chat, Twitch chat, all that kind of stuff. So just making sure that it's an inclusive space and that everybody feels welcome and involved. So
you know what? It's not actually difficult to make it feel inclusive. Again, it's all about the streamer, and just kind of like making sure you just shut down nonsense, basically.
Absolutely, 100%.
Tell me, okay, so the whole kind of, what's that beeping in the background?
I have absolutely no idea.
Do you want to go sort it out?
I'm just going to make sure that my house isn't set on fire. Just give me 2 seconds. I'm so sorry.
Okay, no, go do your thing. Shit, you guys.
T? What the fuck is going on? How did that start?
I love it. Okay, guys, throw in all the emotes when he comes back. Oh shit, no, wait, he's come back. It's the tower card.
For some reason,
Emotes.
you can't make it up, can you? Hold on. For some reason, my fire alarm is going off.
Can we have fire emotes in the chat for Stallion, please?
Oh man, literally, my girlfriend, who is Neefy SSC in the chat, she literally went to the toilet because she was downstairs, and the fire alarm just started going off. So if that doesn't tell you guys what my lifestyle is like in a nutshell, then I don't know what will. So thankfully, the house isn't on fire, so we're all good.
We're throwing as a tribute fire emotes in the chat.
Claire, I've lived here 2 months and I haven't heard that go off once, so I'm so sorry. I don't know what just happened.
I love that. I love how you got up. You went, "What the fuck's going on?" I love it.
But yeah, guys, welcome to my life. It's a pleasure.
As I was saying, I was going to ask you. Now, I always feel like with streams and content creators, there's this whole meme of like, "Hi guys, yeah, it's weekly here. Welcome, subscribe, like, and all that stuff." How do you stay away from that cheddar cheese? Like, how do you stay away from that?
I see YouTube a lot like that, like, "Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube video" kind of thing. So I don't know, really. I guess me and you kind of cut from the same breed in that we started probably before a lot of that was popular. So we have our own style, our own vibes, and like when I'll go into a chat, start my stream, for example, I'll have like music blaring and just welcoming everybody in and stuff like that. I don't know. I just keep it real, and I think that's why a lot of people always come back, because if I've got something to say, I'll say it, or I just always try and keep the vibes to a kind of like a certain feeling. I won't try and change myself up just for something that's popular or viral or anything like that. So
somebody said to me in the chat, which was a great compliment. It was this week, and somebody said to me, "Oh, Claire, really love that you're very real and you just say what you think." I don't understand though, Stallion, how you could come on stream and be on stream for, the Friday streams I go for 10 hours. Sometimes I will go long, but I don't know how you could speak for 2, 3, 4 hours and not be yourself. And do you know what I mean? But I know I'm not being hateful, but I know there are people that maybe feel that they have to do that. Why do you think some people feel they have to put on that sort of mask?
I don't know. There could be, it depends on the person and the individual, really. It could have been someone who started their streaming career deciding that they wanted to do something a certain way, and then they've built up like an audience or attraction for it, and now they're scared to go back, or they've seen somebody who's successful and maybe tried to replicate that person's success, but that person isn't necessarily you. So then maybe they will see like a slight margin of success through that, and then not be able to change back. So I think it depends on a lot of things. It depends on the person, depends on the factor. Maybe even just depends on people not believing in their own personalities and their own kind of like, their persona and the way they are. Maybe they just think, "Oh, maybe I'm too bland," or maybe people won't enjoy me for who I am. But trust me when I say that there is an audience for absolutely everyone and everything. So yeah. You don't need me to tell you this, but always be yourself. It's so important, because eventually the truth always gets out. And even especially when you meet somebody online and they're one sort of way, and then you'll see them at an event and then they're not like that. And it just builds for this kind of like, I don't know, like two-faced character. And it's not really something that you want people to know you for. What you see with me online is what you get in person anyway. And I think it's important to keep it that way. So.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I'm the same. What you see is what you get with me, minus the joggers. Although I am wearing joggers right now, I'm not gonna lie.
Me too. Best way to go, right?
Oh my god, though, Stallion, honestly, like, see during COVID when I couldn't exercise, couldn't go out, like stream was a godsend.
Yeah.
I like no one's, and even my actual work, like with the presenting stuff, I was just doing Zoom interviews like this.
Yeah.
I mean, did you feel the pain when you went back? Because I felt the pain, man. I felt it.
Well, I mean, I was obviously still full time, weren't I? So before or even after, I managed to go full time. God, when was it? Late 2018. So probably a year and a half before COVID. But I mean, I went from like a full on suit, you know, walking around different stores and doing sales and all kinds of stuff, and then obviously hospitality before that, to about as slack as it gets now with the jumper, t-shirt, or joggers and stuff. So it's great. I mean, I do miss kind of wearing a suit every day, because, you know, I would take pride in it and take pride in myself. But I've even done like suit streams before where I've brought that back for like a little, I don't know, like a cosplay or a dress up stream or something like that. But yeah, no, you can't beat the comfies, especially as we get older. You can't beat the comfies.
Look, I've got some years on you, my young friend. And I'm all about the comfies, so I'm telling you.
Yeah,
I'm all about an elasticated waist. It's very important as a lady of my old age, definitely.
And then you can eat a lot of food as well and not feel bad about it, right?
Oh my god, 100%. Oh my god. Like when I had to wear, so I went back to MCM Comic Con. It was the first big event I did was October 2021. And the first panel I did was the Loki panel. It was in front of 5,000 people, right? And
wow.
that's the most people I've ever stood in front of. And also I was a stone overweight. So I look back at that, my big fat apple head, and I'm like, oh God. And I couldn't, that morning I remember going, oh my God, the COVID, like I'm telling you, I was like, I regretted not being one of those, no offense to those at home that did this, home yoga wankers that just did yoga at home. I'm not one of them. I was a home cakey person. Like I wasn't a yoga person. So I regretted that, man. Stallion, I'm telling you, they were onto something. Guys, yoga people, well done to all the yoga.
I think there was two extremes, wasn't there, during COVID? It was those that were like, oh, well, we can't do anything. I'm just going to go out and train every day and get absolutely ripped. And those were like, well, can't do anything. I'm not going to go out anyway, so I might as well stay home and eat pizza and cake every day.
Yeah, so. I wasn't even pizza and cake. do you know what it was? I didn't move very much. And I do like boxing and climbing and being active, but I just funneled all of my energy into the stream. So I was waking up at 6 a.m. and I was like creating content from 6 to 12, break.
Yeah.
Then 1 to 3 more content, then break, then 5 to 8 p.m. stream. I was like really regimented for 2 years. I did that. I was like, I think I went a bit crazy. I don't know.
You do, no, you do. But then it was also like you said, it's probably like a big mental health like release as well. Like you did it to keep yourself occupied. And you probably helped a lot of people on the other side as well that were like depending on you to be there because they needed things to do and to keep themselves occupied. So I got some really deep messages through COVID on Discord from people that were saying that if they didn't have my streams or like a place to vibe with during COVID, they don't know what they would have done. So it got really scary. It got really kind of like in the feels. So
how do you feel? Because I got quite a few messages like that as well, which is so touching. But how does that make you feel when someone says that to you in person or like on a DM?
I remember when I first got a message like that, it was really scary. Not scary as in like I'm scared of it, but like scared to think that kind of pressure could sit on my shoulders. And then like as I got it more and more, like I just kind of got used to it and realized that I was doing a good thing or a good service potentially for someone. So yeah, I mean, it makes you feel good, like that people would want to come through to watch because of the vibes and because mentally it also helps them as well. So, I think at first it's definitely a scary burden to kind of think about that someone else's mental health depends on you. But then it's kind of like, well, if it wasn't for me, then what would be happening to this person? So I've always said to the community, just like, if you ever need anything, just reach out because there's nothing worse than horrible mental health. So.
Well, Stallion, I love that. And I think everyone in here that isn't following Stallion should go do it straight away, please.
I appreciate you.
So please have a shout out for Stallion in the chat. And please, Stallion, I'm terrible at Halo 3, but can we play Halo 3 together? I would.
Oh my God, yes.
Okay.
Absolutely down. By the way, Claire, I still can't follow you. Twitch, right, is not allowing me to add any panels today. It keeps saying there's an error. And every time I click follow, it goes to it and then goes back again. I don't know what's going on with Twitch. If anyone in the chat is having this issue, please let me know, because I don't know if there's something wrong with my account or what is going on. So
it's okay, Stallion. I'll allow it. I'll allow it. It's fine.
I came in and I was like, why am I not following? I feel so guilty. And then I did it. I was like, it's not letting me do it.
I was like, are you following me? Let's play Halo. Let's play Halo 3 together at some point in the next sort of 3-4 weeks. I'd like to do that for sure.
Drop me a message. I'm absolutely down.
Okay, let's do it. Now tell us, before you go away, please tell us what you've got coming up on your stream. You said you're doing more variety.
I am, but I'm funnily enough going back to COD next week because of the new season's coming out. So the new season of COD, Apex Legends is dropping Team Deathmatch next week. So I'm a massive multiplayer lover, not really into the whole battle royale. I have fun, quite snooze festy. So multiplayer lover, arena shooter. So new season of COD, new season of Apex. Playing a lot of Battlefield right now. A bit of Overwatch 2, a little bit of Halo Infinite ranked, sweaty stuff as well. So yeah, a bit of a mix, mainly COD and Apex for next week though. So
Stallion, you're absolutely wonderful. I hope that you will come back and play games on this channel, and definitely I will see you on yours. Guys, everybody, please, can we have fire emotes in the chat for Stallion?
I need to go get that fire alarm fixed. I don't know what's going on with that. That's a pretty scary issue to have as well. So yeah, that's going to be fun.
Thank you, Stallion. We'll see you again soon. Bye, mate. Take
no
care.
worries. Take care, guys. Bye, chat.
Bye. How nice is Stallion? I'm telling you, Stallion is a bloody lovely guy, and we have to play Halo 3. We got some good players of the Wii squad. Not me, though. I'm terrible. I'm terrible. Okay, I'm going to put you on a be right back. I'll put you on a be right back, and I will be back right after this.
A new dawn is on the horizon. A new purpose awaits. Welcome to We Global. Founded in 2018, We Global's sole purpose has always been to be a place of harmony and happiness, a place of positivity and playfulness, a place to call home. Our aim is to build a community that matters, a community of meaning and mindfulness. At We Global, we call our community the We Squad. It's simple to join. Just hit the follow button and join the Discord. Sit back and enjoy all the benefits being a member of the We Squad has to offer. And if you join our exclusive monthly subscription program, you'll have access to all the emotes you need to help spread the joy of being in the We Squad. Plus, access to exclusive channels in the Discord. Regardless, once you're part of the We Squad, we hope you'll spread the infectious joy of We Global across the platform and the world. Thank you for listening, friends, and welcome to the New Dawn, brought to you by We Global.
Hello, welcome back to We Chat. This is your Friday night talk show, only on Twitch. Coming up on tonight's show, we still have Arnas. Arnas from The Last Kingdom. He plays Citric in The Last Kingdom. I'm very excited. I love Arnas. He is so wonderful. So wonderful. So I cannot wait to have Arnas on the show. But before we have Arnas on the show, are you ready for a little bit of Rudy, our 400-year-old magical reindeer bud?
Say what?
Here he is again. Rudy. Hey Rudy, can you hear me? How's your week been?
Claire, yeah, I can hear you. It's been pretty busy. Roy's been training me for this new position.
Oh, Roy. Oh, yeah, Roy. Oh, yeah, Roy. Okay. Is that like that new mole rat friend guy that you were talking about last week?
Well, he's not just any mole rat, Claire. Roy is the all-knowing temporal anomaly, the source of all love, and
Rudy,
you know?
yeah. Shh. Being through this, but Rudy, okay. What were you saying? Clear mind. What were you saying?
Yeah. So Roy needs a new SIO.
Okay, what's an SIO?
Geez, Claire, it's a self-improvement officer, you know? He says I'd be like a hype dude, but like a hype dude that helps people see the truth.
What do you mean by the truth? What do you mean?
Yeah, Claire, people need to know the truth. The great cleanse, you know? Where, you know, we all retreat into our underground lairs, our new homes, safe from the harsh realities of the world.
Rudy, shh. Rudy, calm down. Okay, so Rudy, you know what? Like, I really do want to hear about the mole rat hype guy thing or whatever you're talking about. But, you know, we got to get on with tonight's show. We've got, you know, Arnas coming up. We've got another guest. We've got MamajoeVramajoe. So do you have a question for us?
Yeah, sure, Claire. Okay, well, what does God look like?
Okay. All right. Well, that's a bit of a heavy question for a Friday night. So let me ask you, Rudy, why do you ask?
Well, so Roy keeps talking about this mysterious dude called Aramanius, and all the mole rats love him, and they pray to him every day. They've got these little statues that they talk to in their little mole rat burrows. He seems like a pretty important dude. I tried to ask Roy about him, and he said that Aramanius was their god, but even though, you know, they love him, no one's ever seen him.
Okay. Aramanius. All right. Okay, well, okay, let me try and answer your question. So, okay, right. Okay, well, okay, lots of different people believe in different different gods, I guess, Rudy. And like even then, it sort of depends really whether you even believe in God in the first place. So it's actually a very hard question to answer.
Different gods, Claire? No god at all. What are you talking about? Aramanius is our god, right? He was born from darkness. He will show us the way, the way of the mole rat. Through Roy, Aramanius shall convey the great reckoning, the time where mankind will finally be subjected to the torturous existence that the mighty mole rat has had to endure for a millennia.
No, Rudy, shh. Rudy. Are you alright? You okay?
What was that, Claire?
You were rambling again, Rudy. You were rambling.
Oh, I'm fine, Claire. What happened?
You were talking about I don't know, some god called Aramanius. I don't know.
Who?
Okay, well, okay, never mind. So anyway, like I feel like okay, forget Aramanius, whatever. I feel like you know you were high or something. I feel like I've not even tried to answer your question though. So you know,
Claire, hang on 1 second. Hello? Hey, Roy. Yeah, I got the root fries and the polos you sent. I don't really know about that one. You want a what now? Duct tape. Okay. A video camera? What for? I'm sorry. Yeah. I know questions are for disbelievers. I know. Okay. Yeah. I'll grab all those for you. Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I'll do that. Oh. Okay, bye.
Rudy.
Oh.
It's Is everything okay?
Hey.
Is everything okay, Rudy?
Yeah, Roy needs me, so I guess I gotta go, Claire.
Okay, all right, sure. If you say so.
He says hi, by the way. Do you want him to send you a shirt? He's really into making shirts now. Like he wants everyone in the same shirt or something. I don't know. Never mind. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about the shirt.
I mean, I will think on the shirt. So I'll send you an email or WhatsApp you, Rudy. I'll WhatsApp you. But yeah, I guess I'll see you next week. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
All right. Bye, Rudy. Bye. Okay, that was Rudy. Guys, so yeah, that was Rudy, everybody. And I guess Roy as well. Yes, that was Rudy. Everybody can we please spam the Rudy emotes in the chat, please? Thank you very much. Guys, sorry, I'm just multitasking in the background. I'm not even gonna lie. There's a lot of buttons to press in the background. Okay. Now, before we introduce our next guest, I think you can guess who it is, because I've said it about 3 million times. Let's watch this clip. It's quite epic. Feel like I want to ride a horse all of a sudden. Guys, please welcome, it's the one and only Arnas. Hello.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone.
He's here.
How's it going? It's a very nice studio. I love your studio.
Thanks. Thank
Pretty
you.
cool. It's pretty cool.
Thank you. So what did you make of Rudy? Did you catch the Rudy segment?
I just got my jaw back because I'm like, wait a minute. I turned in on her ramble and I was like, wait, is this Satan the squirrel or what's the deal? Like, what's her story? What's her story?
So Rudy is a 400-year-old magical reindeer who is Santa's best friend. So
Satan's best friend, you said, or Santa's?
I mean, Santa and Satan are the same thing, right? So I mean,
Right, I suppose so. I
mean,
guess.
you should know that you're the agent of chaos, seemingly.
I mean, clearly not. After seeing this, I'm like, wow. I'm like, there's much to improve on, I think, for me as Agent of Chaos.
Let me ask you though, why did they call you the agent of chaos?
I don't really know. I still don't know, but I think it's something to do that I come into the room and I just look for what's the quickest way to disrupt what is happening and maybe turn it. Maybe it's a form of requiring attention. I'm not sure. I think maybe it's Agent of Chaos, or maybe it's just me grabbing attention whenever I walk into the room and I'm like, wait, but why is not me? So I don't know.
Okay, right. Okay, let's practice. Okay, so I'm at a bar. Right, I'm just like minding my own business. I'm at this bar. I'm minding my own business. I'm on my phone, checking my emails. You walk in. How are you disrupting shit? I'm at a bar.
You're the only one at the bar, right?
Yes. Okay, so I'm just at the bar. I'm doing this.
Right.
Just on my phone.
Hey, tough. Emails, right?
Yeah,
Emails.
Yeah, I'm looking at my
Oh.
emails. Hi. Yeah, I'm looking at
Hi.
emails.
I hate emails, right? Don't you just hate emails?
Uh,
Do you know what? Let me answer that email for you. Who's it for? Is it your boss?
it's my mother.
Is that your boss?
It's my
It's your mother?
Yeah.
Let me take care of it. I'm very good with emailing friends' mothers. Are
Okay.
you? You know what? Yeah, let me just do it.
You know what?
What's her deal?
I would let you. Okay, I'll tell you what. Yes, Arnas. Sorry. Yes, strange man who's not told me his name yet.
Doesn't matter. Look, name is the second thing. It's like it seems like your email situation is that's what's important right now. But let's get to the pleasantries afterwards. I can introduce myself,
Sure.
but at this time, I think the email is more important. So let me alleviate it for you.
Okay, I really do need alleviating the email that is.
Thank you.
You thought you were chaos. Sorry. So yes, hi yes, strange man at bar. My mother would like to know.
Right.
Okay, what would she like to know? Yes, she would like to know where the cheapest plumbing job is for the new house renovation because she's selling her house.
What town? What town are we talking? We need specifications because look, there's international plumbing, there's local plumbing. What region are we in? Are we in this neighborhood where we are now, or does she live somewhere else?
Well, I'm going to say this to you. You don't sound very chaotic. You sound very organized with all these questions. What's going on
Well,
here?
that's just because it's what is chaos? Chaos is just the other side of the order. So they're actually the same thing, just dressed differently, maybe.
Okay.
So you know what I mean?
I'll give you that. Okay, Glasgow, Scotland, Glasgow.
Scotland, Glasgow. Oh, I know. I have a guy there. I know this dude.
Alright.
I can give him a call, and he can arrange the best plumbing for the cheapest prices. Because I assume, because she's in Scotland, it's a stereotype I heard. I don't want to overstep any stereotypes, but I bet she's looking for a bargain.
Oh yeah, she of course. I mean, it's not a stereotype. Like
Right. So, so just let me. Yeah, I'll do it. It's pretty easy. That plumbing is the easy. Is there anything else? Is that it? Is that what you're doing on a Friday night at a bar? Well, you needed a drink to email your mom about a plumber?
yes, because first of all, I'm emailing my mother, and I have to drink when I'm doing that. Second of all,
Fair.
this is
Well,
what's
let's unpack that. Let's
Oh,
unpack that.
sure,
Why?
okay.
Why do you need a drink when you email your mother?
Do you really want to go there, Arnas? I feel there's a conversation off stream, Arnas. Do you really want to go there? Well, it all started from the age of 7. No.
Oh, that's late. That's pretty late. Usually it's like a lot earlier, I'd say.
Let me throw it back to you because I'm a presenter by trade.
Right, sorry. See, that's chaos. See? There you go. Chaos.
I like it. I'm liking a bit of chaos, Arnas. I'm loving it. But let me throw it back to you. How's your relationship with your mother?
Listen, it's been great since I moved out. Ever since I moved out, which was 14 years ago,
Nice.
we became best friends. That's my advice to anyone. If you want to improve your relationship with your parents, move. Just move.
Really?
The further, the better. They miss you. You miss them. It's great.
See, I moved out and then we stopped talking. So I think they just forgot I existed. So
Well, you see, you gotta keep rolling the ball because that's like with friends. You know when friends are like there's a type of people where they're like, oh, I don't check in on those people because they never check in on me. It's just the way it is. People don't check in on each other. So you gotta be the one doing the checking in every now and again. Unless you have very traumatic experiences with your parents, then maybe don't check in on them.
No,
Maybe check in on someone who could check in on them.
So, are you, in terms of friends? Sorry, this is going to be the most chaotic interview ever, and I love it. Like,
What do you mean, like chaos? Like Agent of Chaos, chaotic, or
mate, I am the real agent of chaos. Did you not know this?
I'll let it. Yeah, sure.
You
if
let
you say
it.
so.
Oh, no, you let it. That
Yeah, I mean, listen. I came in. You said I'm Agent of Chaos. You've given me this trophy, and now you're reclaiming it. What kind of thing is this? You give me a gift, and then you're like, listen, actually, I bought it, but it's more for me.
Look,
All right, sure.
Like, mate, I was
Cool.
I was lulling you into a false sense of security. It's what I do as a
Which-
presenter.
It's very fragile. It's already very fragile. So thank you very much. I was gonna cry myself to sleep anyway.
Look,
I'm just gonna do it with more cadence.
look, cadence. I like that's very romantic. That's a romantic cry. I feel like I feel like you're rocking.
Yeah. That's also part of the trauma, I suppose.
Yeah. Oh my god. I mean, look, we work in the same industry, artists. Let's not pretend that we're not messed up.
Let's pretend. That's what mainly like. Let's pretend.
I am pretending every day. every goddamn day.
Yeah.
Arnas,
Can you give me more stuff to go on?
are you a checker inner then as a friend and a family member? Are you the one checking in, or because I'm not. People have to check in on me to see if I'm still alive mostly, or check my Instagram to see if I post, basically.
I think it's an ebb and flow. Is that a thing people say?
Yeah. It is.
I think it's that type of thing because I do believe sometimes I check in on friends that there's people that I've not necessarily spoken to for years, and they're like, oh, you know what, I need to check how that person is doing. But then also with closer friends or maybe even family members, I become a recluse every now and again. I kind of just zone out and play the video game of being alone life sometimes. And so it's a give and take relationship with all my friendships. But I like to think that I have a tendency to every now and again cheer some friends on and check in on them, and family less so, to be honest. I should be better at that. I call my grandmas, not as much as I should, but I do.
You're such a sweet boy. You call your grandma.
It's just part of the chaos. They've nothing better to do at this stage. So it's just they talk on phones, and one of them is blind now, so she just has to talk on the phone.
Guys, everybody, Arnas, big fan of the old people. They've got nothing to do now. They talk on phones. That's what they do now. Look, Arnas,
I mean,
I'm going to play this interview to you if we still know each other when we're like 90, and I'm going to look at us now. All we do is talk on phones.
listen, by that time we'll have like a chip in our brain to talk with an AI rendering of our grandchild who doesn't talk to us, but in this version of the rendering, he or she or whatever that is at that point, they will be communicating to us in a way that was never fulfilled. So it's and then we'll see the real version of them, and you're like, oh, remember that thing we talked about? And they're like, no, and you're like, oh shit, because it's an AI rendering of it.
So tell me this then: if you had a chip in your brain right now, and you had an AI rendering of a family member telling you something, what would you want them to say to you? Tell me.
Wow. Okay. Is this okay?
It took a turn, right?
All right.
Look.
All right.
I'm deep in shit. I'm deep in shit. I can go deep.
Okay. Okay. What would I like them to say?
Yeah.
Hey, man. You know what? I didn't need you to clean your room all the time. It's fine. Relax. Your room was clean enough.
Is that it? Is that it?
That's it. I think I'm pretty good with my family now. Or you know what I would like to hear? Do you know what? That's a very good question. I have nothing to say to this. Some time ago, I would have said, like, would you just tell me you're proud? Just tell me what I'm doing is good. Am I on the right path? And then you learn over time in this industry and other industries of creativity that you can't rely on expectations of fulfilling some sort of a gratification or validation from your parents when you're doing something that you want to be doing.
That's true.
It's not. Because if you rely on that, it's impossible. Not just your parents, but in general. I think if you have that mentality, just looking for external validation constantly, it's just a very complicated path. So maybe I would say, "Hey, Harness, how are you doing today?" "Oh, I'm pretty good," or not. I don't know.
That's quite sweet.
I don't know. I think I have a pretty fun relationship with all of my family members at this stage. So they always ask stuff a lot more than they used to.
That's really nice. My dad still asks me if I'm getting paid, like I'm still doing intern work. I'm like, Dad, I'm not gonna say my age, very old lady now. And he's always like, so, okay, you're doing the Comic-Con, yeah? So, are you getting paid? I'm like, of course I'm getting paid. How do you think I earn my rent? And then he's like, and I say that to him, and he goes, okay, all right. So, how much? Like, what, £10,000 for the weekend? 10,000. I'm like, no, Dad, no, that's not. He was like, well, what were we talking about? 8,000? 7? I'm like, no, Dad, because then I wouldn't have to work for a long time after that.
Is your dad the type of person? Does he give you constant unsolicited advice, or does he also ask for some advice every now and again?
No, constant unsolicited advice. He loves it. What about your parents? Do they like giving advice, or do they want to hear what little Arnas has to say about the world?
You know what? That's strangely, because see, I'm the oldest one of my siblings. I'm the oldest of my 4 siblings, and and my parents were super young when they had me, like 19 and 22.
Oh wow.
So we're like our relationships. Some of them are kind of turned around, and it's cool. Sometimes I get a call from my mom or my dad, less so from my stepdad asking for advice because he gives more than asks for advice. But they ask for some like nutritional stuff, or even sometimes we talk like psychology stuff, which I don't have a degree in none of this stuff because that would be their dream for me to have some sort of degree. But I kind of noticed that in the past couple of years, they're like, Arnas, what do you think should I do for this and that? And only after a while, I'm like, oh wait, did you just ask for advice?
Wow.
You
That's
know?
a compliment, actually.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, well, I think yeah, it was definitely.
I think that's really nice, actually. And I can kind of see you as a kind of chaotic counselor. You know, I can kind of see that as some kind of the other day, you guys, the boys were around. Arnis washed a mug, and I was like, "Oh, thank you very much for washing the mug. You don't have to do that." And Arnis was like, "No, that's fine." And then you said something like, "I feel like it's because." What's it? You said I'm a people pleaser or something to do with people pleasing, and I went, okay. And I was like, that's just very nice of you to wash the mug. So why did you wash the mug, Arnas? It's therapy corner. Let's go.
I spoke to someone a while ago that was a acting coach that was also kind of like therapeutic acting coach. And we were talking about this, and I was talking about how I do things, and he was asking me questions. And then at one point, he's like, let me guess. When you go to a friend's house, when you have dinner, when they invite you for dinner, you like make a case of washing the dishes. I'm like, yeah.
Hmm.
And he said that there's something to do. I haven't uncovered that, but he said that there's something to do with I don't know, maybe it's the type of upbringing, or is it just wanting to other people to validate what I actually don't know. I forgot. I don't know. It's something to do with it's like all of this, like you said, counselor stuff, it's all a deflection. I think most of the counseling people who are counselors or ask a lot of questions, that's a very nice quality to have, ask questions. But also notice how many of those questions, when you ask something in return, do they answer or they just bounce them with more questions? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because that's a deflection.
I've been going to. I've got a therapist. I've been going to see her for the last 6 years, right? So she knows all my shit, and she knows me quite well. I like how she would drop like a question bomb into her. She would like listen for like an hour, then drop one question bomb in that would make me go, oh, and I would think about it for the next week.
I have a question about therapy.
Okay.
I'm not currently talking to anyone in that capacity. I've done in the past, which I should probably. Everyone maybe should. But I have a question. I've met someone as well who's done therapy for years with the same person. What if that person? Because at this point, you have a relationship, right? They know about you.
Yeah.
And what? This is forgive me for asking
okay.
this. What if they die? What if they die tomorrow? How's that? Like, what do you do? Is there like a download file for all the stuff that you told them so that you can upload it to the next one when you start anew?
Oh, I never thought of that. What happens to the notes?
You know what I mean? Is it, or do they write wills? Do therapists write wills? And they're like,
were they
this person, if I were to pass, here's the notes. But I mean, I'm sure like that they wouldn't, like, if having those notes without any further explanation could be detrimental to your further mental health. So maybe that's not, do you know what I mean?
I reckon all of her notes for me are just like, like stick men and sad faces. I reckon you just stick and maybe the odd like penis. Like maybe, you know what? I'm a simple girl with simple needs.
I mean, it all comes down to very simplicity. We like have these like huge conversations about my experience and trauma and this when I had this experience, but it all comes down to very simple narratives. I assume. I don't know much about it. I'm just guessing.
What I've learned is it all comes down, which is full circle. It all comes down to our parents. I wanted to start to talk to her about a thread of a part of my life recently, which I've always been kind of, I'm not going to say it on stream, but always been a bit scared to talk about to anyone. And she went, well, really, that's, we're going to have to talk about your childhood. We're going to have to talk about, into that in more detail and talk about your parents' upbringing, emotions, and how they dealt with you. And I was like, oh, I was like, we're about to get into some deep shit now. But I quite like like getting
But
in
what?
there.
So when you think, because I find that interesting. I've been I don't know, reading this and that lately about this and other things,
Mhm.
and about this and a bit about that. And the thing with like, it all comes back to parents. Is it like, okay, but that's the cause. But like, is the therapy process, again? We're going deep, whatever. Is the therapy process like constantly thinking and coming back to the fact that like, all right, this is because my parents this and that. What's the steps further? Can you? Is that something that you fixate on? It's like, well, that's because my mom. Blah, blah. You can't like live on what happened already in the past that much. Like you, I imagine. I'm
Oh,
assuming you accept it, you acknowledge it, it happened, and
yeah.
then what's the actionable changes that you can take, or you're just like, that's it, that's your like conviction, like that's it, I'm this because that.
That's a really good question because, yes, sometimes it is like that, but it depends on your session. Because sometimes I go in and I just talk about like what happened in my week, and I just
Mm,
talk about things that happened, and she might drop a thing in to make me think about something, and it might be nothing to do with my parents, nothing to do with my past. It's just that she's making me think about some stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then I'll come back to it the week later or 2 weeks later, and we might talk about something different. So, because for me, like my brain doesn't think in a linear bullet point way.
mhm.
My brain's like spaghetti, you know. So I
Your
just go,
brain's like spaghetti.
yeah, yeah. So I just go in and I'm
What
like,
kind of spaghetti?
oh shit. Well, I do like a nice tuna penne pasta.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
not a spaghetti though, is it?
No, it's not. Okay, okay. Tuna meatball spaghetti. That's my specialty. Big tuna meatballs like the size of your fist.
Oh, oh
Yes,
yes,
yes, so good. That's the one thing I know I can make really well. Apart
big
f-
fan.
apart from that, I'm all about oven food because I'm lazy.
Oven food's great. Oven food is great. It makes you think like you're creating something,
Yeah.
but you're just put like getting a tray, not even washing the tray, just putting the paper on, just chucking a bunch of things on. You drizzle the oil with a bit of like speed that it makes it seem like, oh, I know what I'm doing. Like, sure, whatever. And then you just whack it in. And yeah. It's the easiest way to make believe that you're actually cooking, where you're
100.
just letting the thing do itself.
So what's your okay? I come round to your house, right? And you're like, "Hey, Claire, I'm making us some food from scratch tonight." Okay, what are you making us? Go for it.
Tuna salad, bagels. That's, you
What's
see,
what's
that
what's
one thing. If I have people over, I
okay?
would do like a buffet
Okay.
that make your own type of thing. I'd prepare some tuna salad. I love that tuna salad with some mayo,
Mm.
maybe some onion chutney, make it a little bit, umami
Oh.
type of thing, and then maybe an egg salad, because that's all it needs to be. It needs to be functional. Not only does it need to be like filling, it needs to be functional. And
Mm.
then some bagels. Get a variety of bagels. If I'm really lazy, I'll just go to Sainsbury's and get those like sesame ones. But then I have a
Yeah.
couple places where I go in the area. Like, I know I have a bagel house hat. Like, I go to this bagel shop so often that they're like, okay, here's a hat, here's a cap. You deserve it.
Um.
And then I'm gonna make those salad. I'm gonna line them up, and maybe some cream cheese, because it's,
Oh.
I think this, and some salmon. And I think the thing with having people over and having food, I've noticed that if you prepare everything but just leave a couple of steps for the
Mhm.
people to do themselves, it makes them, from my vision, at least observing thing, maybe it's not true, it makes them appreciate and enjoy the food more, because all of a sudden they're like taking part in it. Whereas it's
Oh, I
all
like.
prepped.
Oh, I like that. And guys, by the way, guys, I love bagels so much, Arnis. I made a bagel emote especially for this channel. I already love
Oh,
bagels. Can we have the bagel emotes in the chat, please? Spam them out, please. I can see them
I
already.
love bagels.
You've mentioned all of my favorite foods. Bagels is right up there as like top 5. Tuna, top 5. I love tuna steak, tuna mayo. I mean, I love tuna steak. I make a great
tuna mayo, yo, tuna mayo
dude.
with some spring onion, with some red onion, a bit of chutney.
I made that the other
Oh,
day and you didn't want any. I
because I wasn't eating. I don't eat that time of day.
That's true. That's true. I was spring onion. I put spring onion in it.
I saw it. I smelled it. It looked amazing. I'm like, oh god.
I know.
today of all days. I picked the wrong day not
I'm
to.
sorry.
And you had those chocolate little biscuits with the chocolate on top. I'm like, ooh,
I know.
that's my favorite
I'm
thing.
sorry. Like I feel.
No, don't. That's fine. I mean, I enjoy observing food as much as I enjoy eating it.
So
It's
okay,
not
if somebody was to really win you over, then what would be the meal? 3 courses. Go for it, Arnas.
if somebody I'd come into their house and if somebody could do like a fried chicken at home, like a perfect fried chicken
Okay. All right.
with a bit of Korean, like a Korean twist to it, I would be really impressed. Just to
Oh.
have that. If you just had that, I'm like, yo, what? Where did you get Colonel Sanders' batter? Because I know that you can buy that online. The original one, like there's this guy guy in Ireland sells this batter that's the closest to the original recipe. So if you had that at home, I'd be really impressed because that, to me, that seems like it takes a lot of effort to cook. If you see, there's this one thing that my mom always made, and I kind of go around the world and travel and go to restaurants, and I'm like, it's not as good as my mom's creme brulee. If you had homemade creme brulee as a dessert, it'd be like if it took me 2 hits on the caramelized sugar to get through it, I'd be like, okay.
Really? All right. Okay.
Because if it's just one, you're like, all right, you rushed it. You just rushed it. You just like oh, he's coming. I'm like, all right, cool. Rushed it.
Oh my god,
you know, and if I don't
diva. You're such a diva, a dessert.
No, you
diva.
listen. You asked me if somebody were to impress me. If somebody were to impress me,
Alright, okay.
I'm genuinely. If I came in and you said like, hey, okay, simple version. If I came in and you said, I'm gonna make steak, bacon, and eggs, and that's it, I'd be like, how did you know? Because these things that I just mentioned before, they're quite like picky, like divish, picky. But if I came in and somebody's like steak, bacon, and eggs, maybe put some maple syrup on the bacon if you want it, I'd be like, how did you work? Do you want to move in? What's going on?
I love it. I just like if I go to someone's house, I'm like, wow, you cooked. That's amazing. Because I
guess standards are low. I guess so.
My standards very look. Like I only have the tuna meatball spaghetti is the one thing I can
Tuna meatball. I've never even heard of that, by the way. What is that?
It's okay. So I make a set. What I do is I buy fresh tuna, as in tuna steak, and then I chop up the tuna steak, and I cook it, and I chop it all up, and then I mix it with breadcrumbs, parmesan, chives, parsley, salt and pepper. So it's bound together with those things. And it's size 2 meatballs the size of your fist on the plate. And
that impressed me.
And then I make the sauce from scratch. In the day, I have to like really cook it slow, so it's sweet and tomatoey, so it's really sweet.
I'm impressed. I'm really impressed.
I will make it for you next time you come round. I will make it for you. Not at 12 noon, because now I know you don't eat at 12 noon. So,
yeah. But later than that, closer to the evening, it's just whatever.
Beautiful. Oh, okay, cool.
Fried foods.
I will do that. Tuna meatballs. That's the thing.
Tuna meatballs. Any pasta. Look, basically, I'm saying if the easiest way to impress, and that's a generalization. If I come over to your house and you're Italian, that's it. I'm impressed. That's it. That's all you need to be.
Oh, I failed you guys. I'm definitely not Italian. That's the one thing.
No, but that's a different thing. You just described the meal that's very impressive. If I come into a house and like if somebody calls me like, "Hey, we're going to my friend's who like this Italian friend," I'm like, beep. Beep! I'm already texting like, what's the location?
So
that's it.
Can I ask, are you not eating during the day because you're training? Because I know that you box. I know that you're really into fitness and boxing. So is it because of that?
No, I mean I guess it started like that. It started like that years ago. I mean 5, 6, 7 years ago or something. It started because of that. Because it's when you work out and you do when I first started, is like eat 6 times a day, and you're like, what? So I wake up, I eat, then I go do this thing, and then I shake this thing, and then I eat, and then I eat again, and then oh god, I gotta eat. So that was like, wait a minute, I'm not an actual athlete. So it started like that, but it then became like a sort of a bit of a lifestyle, and I kind of got used to it, and now I'm preaching about it. That it's just functional for me like that. So it just feels great.
I'm interested because I started boxing. And doing boxing fitness and then boxing proper when I was like in my early 20s, which was a long time ago, you guys, long time ago. And I'm a very old lady, and I love boxing because it's like the one thing for me, because I've got a very unfocused brain. I don't like focusing on one thing at one time. I'm always doing at least 3 tasks at once and thinking about 5 million things at once.
Right.
Boxing is like the one thing that shuts everything out. I just have to.
Yeah, because you can't. There's this is the only way. You have to really focus everything that's within you to the thing. Yeah.
Oh, is that how you got into it? How did you get into boxing?
I got into boxing when I started studying philosophy. I only studied philosophy for a year, by the way. I didn't graduate, so it's just something I could
So did
tell people,
I.
like, I studied philosophy,
So
but I
did
didn't
I.
really.
I studied philosophy for 1 year.
You did?
Yeah.
For 1 year?
Yeah.
Let's touch
High
hands.
five.
This is amazing.
Hell
Yeah, and it's a
yeah.
great thing to talk about. Like, yeah, I studied philosophy for a year.
Yeah. Oh my god, you guys, I'm like Socrates. I'm like totally Socrates. Yeah.
Socrates, he actually was like in a crate most of the time, or was it a barrel? I don't even know. It's crazy, man.
Actually, Arnas, he stood on top of the crate while he was doing his philosophical speeches. God, you should know your history. Jesus Christ.
Listen, I only did it for a year, and I wasn't really focused on it because it was just like I was trying to find out who I am.
You know what?
Anyway.
I was actually focused on it and not focused on it because I got a chip in my brain that partitions everything, and that partitioned my focus. So actually,
Really?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, really.
So you had a beta version. You had the beta version of the chip.
No, I have the real original version of the chip.
The original version?
Yes.
Where'd you get it? Is it signed? Does it have like a little watermark on it?
Yes, it does. In fact, I made it.
I got you, because if it had a watermark, it'd fry. It would fry.
Fuck, he got me. He got me, you guys. He out improved me. Fuck. I love it. Socrates on a crate. I love that. That's a mood.
That was really good. That's a mood.
That's a mood. That's a mood. So you studied philosophy for a year, and I studied philosophy.
I did.
So
That's amazing.
What made you study? So I studied 3 things for a year. It was philosophy, film and television studies, and German, because I speak German.
What's the third one? Oh, German.
Yeah,
German.
Yeah, I had to read Faust in German.
Wow, that's impressive. I bet that's worth learning that language just for the sake of reading Faust.
It's horrible when you have a hangover and you're 18. It's not good. Like, it's not
What, reading Faust or German?
Both. All of it. Everything. What about you? So was it just philosophy? Is that the only thing you did?
No, I did philosophy for a year, and then I studied acting in Lithuania for half a year because I'm like, I don't really want to. Like, I always wanted to kind of. I love where I come from, but I always had a feeling that I will move. No particular reason. I just felt like it's gonna happen at some point. So I studied philosophy because I wanted to do acting or directing or sound directing because that was my late grandfather. And my parents were like, "Well, not really. Maybe you could do that later in life." Because where I come from, it's not really a thing. Acting at the time, at least. Now it's I think it's becoming a lot more of a thing. And they're like, "You could do that later in life. You got to do something more, academic." And I'm like, "All right." I assumed, but when they talked about academic, they meant economy, lawyer stuff. Well, that's a great term. That shows how I'm a dropout.
Wow,
lawyer stuff.
Guys, he's a ex-philosophy student. Lawyer
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Lawyer stuff. So I said, "Okay, you want me to do academic? Well, I'll take philosophy." And my parents were like, well, that's academic. You could probably do that." I did that, and then I got a job in acting, and I'm like, well, that's a sign. And I dropped out, and then I did acting school for a year, and then I tried to get some other acting schools here. They didn't take me, and then I went to another audition to get into an acting school here. But then I got a job for 5 years, and I'm like, well, I can't go study. I don't have time now. And so, yeah.
It's hard though. Like, I don't know if you're the same as me, but I always found it, although when I get focused, I'm focused. But like, I always found I wanted to do a bit of everything because I don't like being pinned down to one thing, So I like music. I love music. That's my first love is music. Guitar. I played flute. I played cello. I like music. Like, I like the arts, and I like film and TV and all that. But like, I just never really I don't know. I just like doing a bit of everything. And I think that was my main problem was I didn't have focus. If I could go back, I'd probably go do acting and I'd probably go do drama or I'd maybe study art properly. I'd go back
But
and
why do you think is that? What do you think is that that's a problem? Because I'm like, I've spoken to about this before with someone. I don't know that we have this like we live in a generation and time where we're like over identifying with like one thing. This is what I do. This is who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, like my favorite artist, like one of the now I'm like a big fan of this Lithuanian artist who was like who lived at the dawn of 20th century. Čiurlionis, look him up. Amazing. He used to create music. He created these like 30-minute pieces like about the sea or the forest and the most beautiful classical music. And then at one point he's like, you know what? I also want to paint.
Yeah.
In my story, I usually tell the story that I'm like, all right, he was looking for album covers for his albums, which were not albums, of course.
Yeah.
And he's like, he couldn't find anyone. He's like, well, fuck that. I'll go learn painting. And then he started painting these psychedelic atmospheric paintings and
Hell yeah.
he's doing all kinds of different things. And we're like, you know what? I'm just gonna do this one thing. Okay.
Why
So-
limit yourself? But this is the thing, like I don't ascribe to that way, and I never have. And I think when I was at school and uni and every single normal job I had, I was like the misfit because I never wanted to stay in the mold. And I'm not saying that I'm some crazy rebel. I never felt like I was doing anything wrong. I wasn't trying to break any rules, but I do feel that rules can be bent. I don't think rules should be broken completely, but I think they can be bent quite hard. Like you can bend them because life is not black or white. Like life is very gray, and people are not normal. People are weird. So I never understood. Like at school, I was quite arty and I like music and stuff. And I never really understood why people didn't nurture people that were strange or weird or like wanted to do 5 things at once, because why not? Like, why can't you be an artist, an actor, or whatever else you want to be, or an accountant plus an actor plus whatever? Like, why can't you just be those things? It's because sorry to get serious for a moment, but I think that it's all about hierarchical structures of being and society, and it's all about the way that society is built, and whoever you want to call it.
it's an intergalactic ploy. Okay.
Oh my god, yes,
I'm just saying.
They want us to stay. It suits them for us to all stay in a little box because it's easier that way. You know, I don't know how you
Yeah,
feel.
it's just simplification. I think I understand what you're saying. Is that it's like if you can simplify everything as much as you can and just compartmentalize everyone and everything, you can then I suppose you can govern things easier. It's easier to I don't know if control is the word, but just like make things happen. I don't know. But also coming back to what you said just a moment ago, I think that bending the rules and it's at those moments of bending some of the rules, which hopefully they're the right ones to bend. Maybe you shouldn't be, but that's where creativity and new things come from, right? When you take what is and you kind of mess with it a little bit, and you're like, when you bend it, you see what's on the other side. It's like, oh, okay, we could do that with this.
Yeah,
So,
that's when exciting shit happens. When you can
Yeah.
like bend or like lean into weird and bend things to your will a little bit. That's when the most like exciting weird shit starts to happen, and that's what I love about life and creativity and being
I agree.
strange. You know, just like bend it. But what about you? Do you want to like do acting forever, or what other things do you do apart from the boxing, the acting, and everything else? What else?
I enjoy this medium. It definitely it's just like I think boxing in general is a great analogy for anything. Like if you do, I actually only started reading more philosophy later like after I've dropped out in a couple years ago.
Oh my god, same.
And you notice,
same.
because at the time I was like, what am I? Okay, everyone's, because at the time in class, everyone was like, well, Plato said that. And it was just to compare like swinging lightsabers of who read what. And I'm like, I didn't read any of this. I'm like, just like to think a weird way, what seems to me a weird way. And I've
Yes.
only later, I've started noticing like, oh, a lot of these philosophers use boxing as analogies in everything in life. And I think there is something to say about that, that I think acting is like boxing. I think a lot of things are like boxing because there's the foundation. There's some, like, I'm not saying like I'm good at it. I'm just something I'm enthusiastic about. And there's, in life there's footwork, in acting there's footwork,
Yeah.
you use your language, you use your body, whatever. So I like the medium of acting in general because it takes me out of my head, and you really have to, there's somebody taught me this, that you have to really actively, deeply listen to others. And that's the most important. Because, like, I think when at the edge of you stopping thinking about yourself and focusing on whoever is in front of you and whatever's in front of you, unless it's a technical thing that you have to fulfill by doing a certain thing and looking a certain direction, then yes. But if it's in those moments when you don't have to think about yourself anymore and just look at what's in front of you and take that in, I think there's something very, very nice about that. So currently I really enjoy that medium, and I hope that I hope it can be as good. I hope it can be good enough to just keep doing it. That's one thing to it, because there's like people who want fame, people who want success. I just really want to be good enough to just keep doing it because it's
Yeah.
super fun. It's super silly. That's one thing. I'd like to get into writing more because I notice like I do these writing exercises every now and again, and you're like, wow, there's a lot of creativity, and I think we all possess forms of creativity if we
Mhm.
just play around with it for no apparent reason, just for the sake of it. Because there's the judgmental voice that we all have, right?
Of course.
Be it, maybe it comes from your parents, maybe it comes from your parents. So my therapy session, $300. Maybe it comes from there, maybe it comes from teachers, maybe it comes from somewhere that you're like, no, this is not good. You're like, but this is an imaginary thing in my head. What are you talking about? There's hobbits. There's a magical dragon thing. It's all a hero's journey or whatever. So I'd like to play around with writing a bit more. I like DJing. I've started doing that a little bit.
Oh, I used to
Um,
DJ. So,
You did?
Yeah, when I was a younger woman. I'm a very old lady now. Retired.
You keep saying that. You keep saying that. I feel like it's just prompting to like. So no, Claire, you're not. How actually old
I
are
really
you? And how
am. I'm
you know?
look, I'm 63 years old this October. Quite old.
63?
Yeah, for real, yeah.
Damn,
Yeah, I'm
you look
63.
great. What do you?
Thanks.
Is there anything you like take or drink?
Well, you know
Maybe
what?
your father recommends drinking anything that keeps you so good looking and young.
No, there's this guy on Twitch that I saw on the No Walls channel about he was talking about some skincare routine. I bought it.
What?
I bought this skincare routines.
You bought? Oh my God! Is that the guy for $49.99 a month?
Yes, it is $49.99 a month. And look,
Fantastic.
I mean, I'm not a day over like 55, right? So like, see,
Easily. I even say like 54 and a half. No further than that.
you're such a charmer, Arnas, I have to say. Such a charmer. But yeah, I'm actually 63. I'm like, for real, I'm 63 this year, yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. Well, it's like I wonder why we have so much connection because I'm 75.
Wow.
So I
You're,
know.
I mean,
I've
you're,
also I bought the subscription back when it was $9.99.
oh shit. So you're an old, are you one of those old fans? Are you one of those?
I'm an old fan. I was the only fan at first,
Oh,
and then
oh, right. Okay. Theonlyfan.com /
that was the beginning of it. Then they had to buy a domain. They wanted to do it. It was supposed to be the only fan, but they couldn't buy the domain because it was already taken by me. Because I've been around for 73 years. So they're like, what else? Okay, only thing, whatever. You know what I mean?
Theonlyfan.com / Arnas in it. It's Arnas in it. It's not just Arnas. It's Arnas in it. Like that.
And it, yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm quite an old lady. But that skincare routine was absolutely brilliant. Like
I heard teas are great as well. I heard like different kinds of teas.
You know what? I quite like a peach tea, not a plum tea. No, I'm against plum.
What?
I'm not a plum tea lady. Peach.
What?
delicate,
Okay.
delicate flavor. We don't like a plum. No.
So what does the peach tea do? What is it? What's the thing?
A peach tea, fragrant. It's light. It's definitely not a Mark Rowley plum tea special. That's for sure.
Right. He does like a plum tea.
Can I
I don't
ask on
understand.
set? Was he a tea fan? Like, did he?
I've never seen him drink tea.
So what
We
is
just be
this?
chugging coffees. Like, can I have two espressos? And while you're making those two, can I have three triples on the way as well? And then in the afternoon, he'd be like, "Oh, some almond milk or
Mm.
whatever milk." We take milk home, nut milk. That's a strange thing to say.
Do you know what I observed? Because so the first time I interviewed, I guess, Arnas, we got to talk about the Last Kingdom. Yeah, yeah, let's talk about the Last Kingdom. Yeah, because I've got to be professional. I've got to be professional.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm a presenter in it.
You're a presenter.
Yes, I am. I just have to reiterate that.
Before we move on to the last king, real quick question.
Sure. Whoa.
How does that cat? How do you keep that cat stationary? Why does she not move? Is she like sleeping?
I would say they're more in a morose, nightmarish state.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for answering that question. I'm ready to answer yours.
That's no problem. Okay, let's get on to the Last Kingdom, Arnas. So, I gotta ask you guys. So, this is what I observed. So, the first time I interviewed, I think I interviewed like 6 of you. I don't know if you, there were 6. Yeppy was there, Alex, Mark, Eliza.
You interviewed Alex?
Yeah. There was like loads of it was a Zoom call. It was COVID. It was a Zoom call.
Wow.
What so I interviewed a lot of all of you, or most of you, and you know what I observed? Everybody was really bloody nice, and also the first thing I noticed was I loved Mark. Mark was weird as fuck. Like he was. The moment
get-go.
Mark and I started talking, I was like, I like him. He's a fucking freak.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was cool.
Yeah.
And then after that, we all some of us kept in touch. And then I met Mark for the first time. It's 2021. And we met for the first time. It was at that Comic-Con with the Loki panel stuff that I was mentioning earlier. And Mark was like, oh my God. And straight away I was like, yes, I met Harry and Mark and Toby. All of you are so bloody nice. You get on so well. Like, tell me something that you hate about each other. Like, because you're so bloody lovely, all of you.
You know, earlier on in any of our relationships, I may have found something to say that I hate. But after further not consideration, but after further re-examining of my earlier thoughts, I came to the conclusion that there's nothing. Because I'd say I get it's a very cheesy thing to say, but I think it's ultimately really a testament to the leadership that we had. I think every set is different, and I've learned to understand that if you have a very strong number one, in terms of acting and everything, but in terms of their presence and the kind of person they are, if they sustain that, it trickles down. Yeah. Because we were talking about that with someone as we were shooting the movie, which is coming out in a couple months. Somebody asked, like, why do people love working on this so much? It doesn't matter if you're crew or the actors. And then we started trying to pick it apart, and I said, like, it seems like the only constant through the years is Alex. Like, things changed. Yes, the producers haven't changed, sure, but they're not around as much, right? Yep. Whereas Alex was always there, and from the beginning, he was the nicest person to every single person on set. And when you come in with that energy, even if you're a new person, you see that, and no matter how good an actor you are, no matter how well established you are, you see that as a sign of a certain leadership, and that, I think, that passes on. Because people keep saying, like, oh, you won't ever experience a set like this because it's just everyone's just super nice to each other. We play jokes on each other. It's never malicious. If something doesn't work, we just move on. There's no ego. People give each other not advice, but like, hey, do you want to try this for your scene? And you'd be like, yeah, that's a great idea. And it's just such an egalitarian set. And I attribute, of course, everyone did their part, and I think the casting in itself, probably the casting director is a magician. That she just managed to pick a group of people that are all amazing.
Yeah,
But
man. Because I met so many I've interviewed so many folks from like groups of cast, of like cast of certain shows. And I'm not ever going to say anything bad about anyone. Actually, I've had great experiences interviewing people from really big shows and stuff, and it's always been lovely. But it really struck me that you guys were like really gelled. There's like a real bond. And then when I met you, like, cause I only met you in December, and the first, it was Telford. It was in Telford.
yeah.
And I saw Mark there, and immediately I was like, yeah, I know I like Mark. Mark's amazing. And immediately you were like, you had a donut in your hand. You were like, yes, like you were just like up for anything. Like I can say anything to any one of you, and you seem to be okay with it. Some people aren't so much like that, so I have to be on my best behavior.
Right.
So, but you guys are quite chilled, which is nice.
Well, it's also I don't know, this I've learned this from Mark. I think one thing is that he always says a job's a job. A job's a job, mate.
A job's a job. A job's a job.
And the thing with that, I think, is that like there's this magical thinking about actors and this world that we all work in, that we're like some sort of a special people. It happens to be that we have a job that sometimes is on screen, which is great. It's really fun for us. I love it. My friends love doing it. It's great fun. But on the human level, it's just another job.
Yeah.
That's going to be replaced by AI soon, but that's a different topic. But it's just a job, and I think the human thing of it is just to be I don't know, empathetic and just try and connect with people, because I'm like, I've done this. Nobody gives a shit. Yeah, I'd like to meet you. You're cool. It seems like you do great jobs, but ultimately, it's the same.
I agree.
The same.
I agree. Somebody said to me about this sort of work, and I think when you're in this kind of job, it's because you should genuinely love it, and it's not a job's a job, or a job's a job. Like you should never, I don't ever think it's about being in the limelight or anything, but somebody came onto my stream years ago and they said to me, oh, I checked out your YouTube and shit, and you must really love being in the limelight. And I was like, no, like that's literally not the reason why I do anything. I'm like such an introvert, like in reality, like I'm quite shy.
Right.
I'm just a complete freak, and I don't know why I like doing it, but I really enjoy it. Like,
right.
It's not about being in the limelight or being, wanting attention. It's not about that at all.
Yeah, I guess for some people it is. I guess some people get off of that, like with that. There's like just being seen makes them, feel whatever that their traumas from childhoods are unfulfilled, and they get to, relive better versions of those traumas. Excuse me. But I don't know. I just like doing what I like doing.
Yeah, me too.
And it's fun. And it's also fun to be paid to be doing what you love doing.
Yeah, because there's some times where you're like, I'm doing a really weird, silly job. Like, it's a weird job.
Yeah, we'd say that on The Last Kingdom and on other jobs that I've been lucky to be on. That you like every now and again you'd be like, hey guys, this is our job.
I know.
This is our job. Do you get this? Hey, look, it's not real. It's our job, dude. This is our job. Our job today is hang upside down on a tree for the entire day. That's our job today. I know this is bragging, like, because it's a very it's a very fortunate position to be in.
Mm-hmm.
To just be doing what you love doing, and also every now and again getting paid for it. That's, people say that, find something you love and do it and get whatever. Well, because not everyone, you're not always fortunate, but if you can, and if it happens, if you're lucky enough, because I think that's a big part of it, it's just fun.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Whatever you do.
But okay, let me ask you this.
Let me ask you this.
Oh shit! What are you gonna ask me? Are you
What's your question?
are you trying to out
What's the
chaos
question?
me now, mate? Because
No, no. I'm just saying. Let me ask you. What's the question?
Oh, well, that's a really normal question to ask me because I was going to ask you a question anyway. So not very chaotic, but okay, whatever. You're not in Brad.
Because you're the agent of chaos. You've reclaimed the title. I'm just an agent.
Look, I am the title. You were never the title. Let's just face it.
Okay, I'll just pack my stuff and
Look, it's okay. You can be the lieutenant of chaos.
Oh, great. See, because the lieutenant ultimately does more groundwork.
You know what?
I feel
I'm
like.
okay with that. I'm quite lazy by nature. So I would, you can do all my groundwork for me while I lie. Oh, you know what? I'll make you tuna meatball spaghetti for your troubles.
Done. Deal. Where do I sign? Here's my blood. What do I need to do? What else?
Totally into. Okay, let me ask you a question.
Go on.
So, okay, we go back to the past. We erase everything. Okay, you can't do acting. You cannot do it. All right. You can't do boxing either.
I can't.
No. So, what do you do? Like, where would you be now at this age if you couldn't do those two things?
Oh, that's a good question.
Because I've taken two things away. Two things.
When I was 8, I think approximately when I was 8, I remember I was in school, being naughty, shouting and screaming and being hyperactive, and we started talking about careers and stuff because that's what people do. They ask 8-year-olds, "What do you want to do when you grow up?" And you're like, "What?"
I don't know. Like,
And
how are you supposed to know you're fucking 10 years old? Come on.
what do you want to do when you grow up?
I want to be He-Man. I want to be fucking He-Man. I want to be a Thundercat. Like, what are you talking about?
Thundercat. Oh, wow. That's a good one. See, so back then, I was under the impression, I came to understand that I was under the impression that lawyers get to talk a lot. I was like, I could do a lot of talking. And already then I knew, like, wait a minute, I could talk. I think I could talk. I think I could talk for a while.
Yeah.
So I thought about that. But also in a parallel universe, if I can't do boxing, if I can't do acting,
Okay.
I'd like to do some music. I'd like to have carried on learning some music maybe. Or you know what? If I'm really also into it, I'd love to cook things. I don't think I'm necessarily a good cook. I'm like slab this, slab that.
You can make
But if I could
bagels.
make a good dessert,
You can make bagels. So
right.
you know what? I'm there for it. If you made me a bagel,
Oh, you know what?
I'd be like, cool.
A race car driver. I'd like to be a race car driver.
Okay, a race car driver. Okay, let's go back to music because I tell you this, right, Arnas? Music. I'm a music wanker. I like to call myself a music wanker.
Well, how so?
Because
What qualifies as a title for that?
Because music is 1000% beyond anything else my first love, and I judge people very harshly upon it. Like, I love music. It's like music speaks to my absolute inner. Like, and when I was never a performer when I was younger, but I now play and sing on stream a little bit, and that's helped my confidence a little bit. And it's that's the only time where I feel the true, and this sounds like a wanky thing to say, but the true vibes come out when I'm writing a thing and I sing a thing. That's when the true shit comes right out, because it just feels like a part of your soul is being exposed. Does that sound really that sounds wanky, right? That's wanky, right?
No, see, you keep coming up with these like, oh, I'm crazy, I'm wanky, I'm this. And like, no, this is just your experiences. But sure, if you want to call it wanky, do it.
Well, okay, yes, I'm wanky. So that's what I'll continue to call it. So, like, that's my like thing. So in terms of music, tell me, what is the thing that gets you going? Like, what are the bands, the melodies, like the songs that like speak to you? Like, I'm not talking about, oh yeah, that's a bop. I'm talking about, no, that is like my song, my soul. Like, what would you say?
All right, I guess because we live in a time where there's so much access to all kinds of music, and I'd say I'd go in stages. When I was from 17, I mean, that stayed till now. I was very lucky to somehow stumble upon Chet Baker. And that became, because you go through that like, oh, I want to be sad. and I want somebody to sing about sadness, but
I'm
I'd like
still
to
in that
experience
phase,
it.
mate. Look.
Still do.
Look, as a 75-year-old or whatever I am, I'm still in that phase now. In fact, probably leaning harder into it than I ever did before. But what about you? Are you like yeah, man? It's like Spice Girls Mark 3.
I don't know. I always like that was my thing in school. In some classes I wouldn't even really take part in the learning. I don't know why, but the teachers kind of let me do it. I just put on my headphones and read books, and they were like, "Yeah, it's chill. At least it's quiet."
Okay.
And so I think Chet Baker's always been there. Death in Vegas. Do you know Death in Vegas?
Hell
Vegas.
yeah. Of course I know Death in Vegas.
Do you know
Yeah.
Dirge? Dirge. Is that the name of the track?
Yeah.
There's this one movie, Black Dahlia. I can't remember how old I was, 14, 15. Not necessarily a super film, but I really enjoyed it at the time. What's his name? Josh Hartnett.
Uh-huh.
And in the trailer, they played this track, and I'm like, do you remember the time when you had to really look for your music? Because I didn't buy an album till I was like 16. I'd steal all this stuff. I'd just go on LimeWire or
LimeWire.
Napster or whatever,
I was
and
about
you'd
to
be
go,
like, I hope this is not porn. I hope this is not a porn video, but it's gonna be actual music.
or maybe it's a very melodic porn video and it's all right.
It's also possible.
It's a really soothing porn video that makes you feel
Yeah.
okay in all
So-
senses of the world. But yes, go on. Sorry, I digress.
No. So it took me ages to remember to find the name of the track, and then even more time to find the actual track. And then I used to have this math tutor that I just skipped all his classes because he made me feel like shit. And I'd take the money and go to movies. I spend the money that my parents gave for math on culture. I'd watch movies or I'd buy books every now and again. And I bought my first legal CD, which was the Contino Sessions by Death in Vegas.
Oh.
And that track, Dirge, I still don't know how to pronounce the word. I think it's Dirge, right?
Dirge, yeah. Or sorry,
Dirge.
I'm sorry. I'm pronouncing it like a Scottish person. I'll pronounce it like an English person. Dirge.
Dirge.
say
Just Dirge.
Dirge.
So
Yeah.
that song is I don't think it'll ever leave my playlist. No, I mean, it's not always on my playlist, but that's one. If anybody asks me that's one song that every now and again I'd come back to.
So in terms of sound, then, so I will say this. Okay, forget the bands and the. Sorry, I'm going deep. It's Friday night and we're going deep. Hi guys, welcome to a wee chat. A wee chat after hours with me and Arnas. We're going deep. We're going deep and dark. Let's go. So let's go deep and dark then, because I'm a bit emo like that, Arnas. So. Forget bands and forget songs in terms of like just sonically. So I'll okay. Let me give you sorry, my brain goes 5 million miles an hour. So So when I think of things I like, it's either hard, like metal, loud, like anything that's like it's like a drill to my brain because it makes me stop thinking. Or it's sad. Like there's no gray area in between.
All right. Okay. So it is black and white for you.
Yeah, that's where I'm black and white. I'm quite like it's very. I don't like
I
shit
see.
pop shit like beige accountant music. I hate accountant.
Beige account. That's a good term.
Do you know what I mean? Like Ed Sheeran. I don't really like music like that. But I like hard or really like stabbing your heart. Like it feels. So what about you? Like sonically, what gets you?
It varies. Sometimes it is metal. But I stay on new metal and like hard rock, classic rock. But I'm also into sounds that I like mantra-like music. And mantra-like music is just techno. It's minimal. It's this thing called organica, if you know what that genre is.
No, I don't.
It's a combination.
Actually.
It's a combination of like sometimes it'll be Middle Eastern sounds on a 4x4 like rhythm. And it's just like you could call it dance music, I suppose, but it's just like it has like maybe a guitar from the Middle East somewhere, maybe something like that, and it just has a repetitive rhythm, So it's that kind of thing. I like stuff that makes you cry. Like I would say that. I don't know what it is, because some people's, I mean, scientifically, I think it's that there's certain notes and tunes that respond to your brain waves in a certain way and make you feel certain ways. But it's hard to pinpoint just one thing. I think, again, sometimes I'm like, you know what? Today is just about metal. I'm gonna turn on my Yeppe playlist.
Yep.
So then sometimes, because he has, like, if anything, that's the guy to turn to. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? It's old hip hop time. Sometimes you'd be like, you know what? It never gets to pop. I've still never been to you know what? I want to listen to some Taylor Swift. I don't know. Maybe she has good music. I've never literally don't know a song. I genuinely don't know a song. Maybe she's great. She's winning Grammys, so I assume she has to be.
You know what? Though I'm gonna quote Peep Show. I don't know if you've ever watched Peep Show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of it. Yeah.
The people love Coldplay. Don't trust the people. Like that's what a quote from.
Yeah, that's a good example.
So-
That is a good example.
I'm not gonna endorse whatever. All I'm just saying, think outside the box, my friends. That's all I'm saying. Always think outside the box and never listen to or watch what they feed you. Like,
It's a war. It's a war out there.
go
All
against
right,
the
Alex
man.
Jones, we.
Yeah, what? Hey
Huh?
mate, Alex Jones, we. I like that. Or we Jones. Actually, that's
We
how,
Jones.
that's how I'm actually.
It's a human war. They're making the frogs gay.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That's giving me an idea actually. Like for like a weird conspiracy character, like you're making the frogs gay. Like, yeah, that's like really good.
I think that's something he said, something like that. I think he said that. But
So-
it'd be an interesting to see, you create a conspiracy character. You told me something earlier today that I was fascinated by.
What was that? Oh, with the T.
About about that and the conspiracies. How your father has like one type of conspiracy, then there's the American conspiracy, and I was like, oh, I didn't know the two parts of the world trying to out conspiracize each other.
It's like
That was fantastic.
it's so obvious though when I thought about it. I was like, you got China, and then you've got like then you've got America, who've got their own ideas, but you got China, So I kind of feel like, of course, like every country has its own agenda. Does Lithuania not have its own agenda in a way? I'm gonna be honest. I don't know much about Lithuania. I don't really know a lot about Lithuania at all. But does it have its own vibe?
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it definitely does. It's a very beautiful country, and but also, like, see, it's a small country, so there's a thing with countries that are small. There's like a lot of recognition, just not in terms of like, oh, she's famous and that, probably that as well. But everyone constantly sees each other, so I don't know. That affects people's opinions and how they behave and interact, because you're always you're always seen in a way, which is not necessarily always a good thing, if that makes sense.
But as someone who is not from the UK, do you feel that you would want to live in London for a long time, or do you think you'll go back to Lithuania or somewhere else at some point?
I've fallen in love with London. I didn't like it initially. I wasn't sure. I mean, anyway, like, yeah, when you first move in, you just can't afford even a cup of coffee. And
Yeah,
you're like,
man, I've been there.
"Oh,
I've been
this
there.
place."
Did you do
And once
the
you get-
whole? Did you do the call center job though? I did the whole call center thing back in the day. Did you do that?
I did. No, I did. I did leafleting. I did flyering. I did a bit of that, which was one of my most fun jobs, to be honest. In terms of you said normal jobs. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I never did call center stuff. I did some retail shop experience, salesperson. I faked my CV. I faked everything on it. I had
Sorry?
no experience, zero.
Like fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it.
And I faked it, and it was super fun.
The-
I It was so fun.
I did the call center thing when I came down from Glasgow, and my call center manager. So you can understand me right now perfectly clearly, right? Because I'm speaking in a clear.
Sorry, I have like captions. I have captions turned on.
Wow, wow. He's admitting this ages into the. Wow, okay. Arnas, I don't know. I don't know. I thought we were best friends, Arnas. I thought we were getting on well. Fuck. So
You just gave it to me. You just handed it to me on the plate. I had to.
fuck you. Fuck off. So like my call center manager was like, yeah, Claire, so really like your work. You're doing really well with your girls. Your girls are great. You're hitting your targets. But you need to pronounce your S's and T's and just speak speak a little bit slower on the phone. Yes.
Oh.
So I had to.
Okay.
So this is the result of 20 years in London, because I'm a very old lady. I'm 89.
80? Wow.
Yeah.
So you're on a different.
Hey, look! I'm just trying to like get illusion into like what am I?
I see what you
How
mean.
old am I?
I see what you mean.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
see.
So if I'm just throwing numbers at you. I'm just throwing numbers.
Yeah.
Numbers are an illusion.
That's a number wang. That's a number wang.
I'm chaos, right? I'm
You
chaos.
are chaos. Or you're the chaos. I'm just a lieutenant. Just a poor measly lieutenant. Trying to earn the stripes.
I love
Trying to
it.
earn some stripes.
You can call me Your Excellency. I would like that if you
Yes.
could do that. So you can try.
Sure.
You
Wait, let me just. What did the caption say? Ah, excellency. That's funny.
Wow, like, that is that. Wow, you're a comedian. That's really funny. But real funny. Yeah. But like I had to pronounce but your accent and your English is so clear. Like did you ever have that problem when you came to London at all?
I was just lazy growing up to train the Queen's English, because I just believed when I was a kid that American, for some reason, because all I did is watch American cartoons.
Yes.
All I did was listen to American music. So when they in school, because you had to learn English in Lithuania like at the age of 7 or 8, I was very lucky, but we did it in kindergarten actually. They would try and instill this, like, you have to speak this way, and I'm like, no. You have to sound like this, as American as possible. And then I moved here, and I'm like, well, that's useless here. And then I just always had this, I guess, sound that I kind of have now. And yeah, it's just cartoons and hip hop, I guess, growing up.
So
And Limp Bizkit.
what do you think that you'll move back to Lithuania or somewhere else, or is
Oh,
London?
that was a question. I forgot that was a question.
Yes,
No,
I'm a presenter.
I don't.
I'm bringing it back. I'm bringing it back.
That's
Let's bring it
very
back.
good. That's very
Yeah,
good.
professional,
That's
very
that's presenting. That's presenting.
That's all it is. That's all. It's remembering. That's what it is. That's presenting.
That is true.
Remembering.
I don't think I'm gonna move back to Lithuania. I like being there, but I like being there. I like visiting, but I don't stay there for too long. I think I'm gonna be here. I'd like to move to the States maybe, because I really enjoy my time there. Maybe I'd like to be at some point somewhere in Italy, because again, for aforementioned food. But
For the pasta.
I don't know. I am
For the
currently
pasta.
still in the nomadic stage of my life.
Yeah. You know what? I was not in like okay. I feel like in my soul I'm a nomad. Like I have always felt displaced. Even though I feel really I've been in London for 20 years. I love it here. But in the last year, like my personal life is like flipped. So and now I'm like, hey, I can do anything I want and go anywhere I want to be. And it's amazing. I love the feeling of, and I traveled a lot last year. I was in Greece, I was on an island, I was in Athens, then I was like in Amsterdam, and then I was in like America, and then I was in like, and I was all over the place. It's fucking brilliant. I love that feeling of like not knowing where you're going to be next, or knowing where you're going to be, but not knowing what the vibe is going to be. Like it's very exciting, and that's the vibe. Like
I think to add to that is that when you visit, well, I guess you could say back home, whenever you visit, there's like, you see circles of people and groups of people, how they've established their close knit relationships, and some of those relationships fade over time and some of them stay forever. But as you travel and as you make real close connections, which I'm very lucky to have made, and I have friends all over this planet. I think at this point, not all over, but in a lot of places. But and there's a fear when you move from somewhere that you might lose that connection. But if it's really strong and really powerful, it kind of has a tendency of staying, if you know what I mean. So that's one thing to hold on to, especially when you're like, oh, what is home? Like, I don't know, wherever you go, wherever you go. Where's home? Wherever you are. If you can make a
100%.
home there, you're good.
100%. Like, I never really, like, and this is nothing against anyone who feels like they don't want to leave their town and stuff, because like my younger brother has never left home. Like, we're so diametrically different in our our views about travel and leaving and experience. But like, I don't know, like, you're right. I do feel like home is where your spirit is, and if your spirit feels in that moment that you want to encapsulate that city, that village, that town, or the countryside, then that's where you're meant to be. And I kind
Yeah.
of believe in kind of, you ride the universe. And I don't want to sound like, okay, I'm a bit of a hippie.
No, no.
I don't want to sound like a hippie, but like, it's I do believe that the universe shows you things and people as well. So when somebody sparks your attention, you're like, oh, pay attention to that, because there's a reason for that. If there's a
Right.
place that sparks your attention, then like, pay attention to that. Why? Like, it's very, very important. So yeah, I don't know. For me personally, I don't think I'm meant to be in one place for
Right.
a long time ever, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think the only like not drawback, but to think about is that it's nice to wherever you are, it's nice to feel somehow part of the community, whatever that means. So I personally have a thing that I like to create micro communities, like have a
Yeah.
some sort of a feeling wherever I go. I like to go to shops that like, hey, how's it been? You know, wherever I go, I'd like to create that little, which is maybe some sort of a form of escapism and trying to recreate that something that you don't really have, but just going places and creating that sense of like belonging by like, oh, I know this place. I will always go to this place to have some coffee, or I'll always go and check on how this person sells that on this or whatever. So it's just having a sense of like something that grounds you wherever you go. It's not it's lovely to just have recognition for places. Like you can nice cycle through London without a map and know like, oh, I know this place, that one, this place there. And then it's nice to go to LA and drive around and like, you know what, switch off ways. I know where I'm going.
Yeah,
So
man.
it's nice to have the mental capacity and to to make everywhere you go to make homely. Like if somebody was to come with you and you're like, and they'd be like, oh, I've never been here before. Like, don't worry, I know. And you're like, wait, are you from here? And then next day you're in a different city. It's like, oh, let's go this way. And you're like, wait, have you been here? Like, yeah. So it's
Yeah.
nice to, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Hmm.
100% know what you mean. Like, my friend Tom, so my friend Tom is my oldest friend. Uh, we will live together when I move to LA. And I've known him for 20 years, since I was a teenager. And Tom said the same thing. He's a big traveler. All my friends are like huge travelers. They've been all over the place. And he said quite a very similar thing to what you said. And it's like that. There's quite a nice feeling about something, when you kind of know your way around a place, where you can turn off the sat nav, when you
Yeah.
know where the best coffee is, or where I've been to LA so many times in the last 7-8 years now, like so many times. I can tell you, I'm pretty much almost living there, because I know
Right.
where to go. I kind of like that. You feel quite global. There's something really exciting about that. It's
Yeah.
international.
Yeah, because it's all the same street, but in a different place.
Yeah,
It feels like
exactly.
you're cycling, then you're driving, then you're walking, and it's all just an extension of, you've walked this path before. Or maybe it's a
100%.
new path.
100%. 100%. But Arnis, I've just looked at the time, and we have talked for an hour and a half. I'm so sorry. Like,
No, it flew by. It absolutely flew by. It's
guys, I said to
I
Arnis,
see.
like, 20 minutes, Arnis. I'm so sorry, Arnis.
Yeah, but then again, you've also aged what, like 30 years during this show. You said yourself.
37. I mean, at least 37 years I've aged. I'm at least 98 now.
Right.
I
So
mean-
there you go. I started this at 73, and now I'm 12. So time is really relative.
Well,
It depends on where you look at
very
it from.
mature for your age. Very mature
Huh?
for your age. You look kind of tired for your age. Very tired.
I am. Listen. Being a 12-year-old, where I'm from, it's a whole different ball game. It's a whole different game.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah, you live
And the life expectancy, the neighborhood I'm from, life expectancy is like 13 and a half. And by 12, you have like a mortgage, and you're like, you don't want to know.
You know what? I really hope you grab that next job for that mortgage because you got like a year and a half to like pay off before you die. So-
Tops. Because then it goes on to my children.
Wow, how many kids do you have?
All of them.
All of them excellent. So yeah, let's all pray for Arnis for the. Let's pray for Arnis and his many children. He's starting a franchise, kind of like Subway, so,
Yeah.
but with children and less meatballs. Arnis, I'm sorry I've kept you up for so long.
No.
But
Yes, don't. I thank you. It's my free. I told you I don't go to therapy lately, so this is my free session.
hell yeah! And Arnis, would you come round for meatballs at some point? Tuna meatballs? Are you up for
Please.
it?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Genuinely. I've never seen tuna meatballs, and I'm down.
Okay.
With some pasta with a bit of garlic. I mean, whatever you do.
No, man, I'm all about the garlic. I fucking love
Yes,
like
butter and garlic.
yes.
That's it.
Yes. I mean, you're speaking my language. Like, let's do it. Okay, right. Okay. You're more than welcome round for tuna meatballs. Like, I will message you. I will message you soon. Okay.
Thank you very much for having me. It's very fun seeing like the comments in the back every now and again, reading them. It's quite entertaining.
Oh yeah, I forget about that.
Very kind people and very funny. I know some of them.
Arnis,
So-
you're absolutely incredible. I will be in touch about the tuna meatballs.
Yes.
And you go to bed because you got like
will.
boxing at 4 a.m. He likes, he's like Rocky, you guys. He gets at 4 a.m. and he like swims
My
in like a lake.
apartment smells so bad because I have like this huge piece of meat hanging that I fucking beat up every morning. It's terrible.
Exactly. He beats it up and he kind of like rubs it and smells his hands. Just like just likes the smell of red meat in the morning.
That's the skin. That's the skin routine. That's the skin routine. Yeah.
Oh yeah. You're just like rubbing your
Yeah.
shoulders. Like get it. Get all
Love you
over it.
guys.
Right, okay, Arnis, go to bed. You're a young man. You
I
need your
will.
sleep.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Okay,
I'm 12.
He's 12. He needs to go to bed. It's past his bedtime. Everybody
It's past my bed.
say goodnight to Arnis. Mwah. Love you, Arnis. I'll see you soon.
Thank you very much, Claire. This is an absolute fun, joy, and pleasure. Great studio again. That cat is sedated. I swear to God. She has this cat that's just sedated.
Mwah. Take care. Bye-bye. Everybody, it's Arnis. I think Arnis has just become one of my favorite people. He's fucking incredible. Did you enjoy the interview? Please let me know in the chat. Guys, sorry, that was a bumper episode of A Wee Chat. We're going to have Bump next with Renegade Master. We're going to see out the show with our house band MamajoeVramajoe. They've got a very special song about toast. But please stay tuned, because we'll be back right after this.
Well, howdy. Hello.
Hello from our houseboat on our purple planet.
That's right.
I'm Mama Joe.
I am Vramajoe.
Thank you, Claire, for inviting us to be your houseboat band.
Thank you very much.
We're going to sing a song.
Yeah, what's this song about, Mama Joe?
It's about toast.
Wow. I love toast.
you ever get the feeling that you are perfectly cooked steak? Do you ever get the feeling that you are perfectly cooked steak? No, I'm a piece of toast. 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 Do you ever get the feeling that you are perfectly cooked steak? Do you ever get the feeling that you are perfectly cooked steak? No, I'm a piece of toast. I'm a piece of toast. I'm a piece of toast. I'm a piece of steak. No, I'm a piece of toast.